I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makar Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makar. And we give double honors to our apostle elders, which are the apostle elders at Great Millstone, which have diligently done the work for many years, and to you hope of the elect. That's on 4 corners of the planet Earth. That's pushing this truth with all sincerity, honesty, and faith. Keep faith, keep fighting, keep pushing. We're at the time of the end. We're getting close. Salaki. I'm just going to play this video, and we're going to jump right into this lesson.
Addicted to heroin, which was his downfall. At one of Jack Parsons' meetings, he and Sarah Hollister met a science fiction writer named L. Ron Hubbard. If that name sounds familiar to you, it's because Hubbard would go on to found the cult of Scientology. But at this time, he was one of the very few sci-fi writers who were writing in such detail about the possibility of sending humans into space. As a hardcore sci-fi nerd, Jack Parsons was thrilled to meet L. Ron Hubbard and invited him to join in on their parties as much as he wanted. Parsons believed that he could summon a goddess named Babylon. She is described as being the great mother of the earth and a symbol of sexually liberated women. He asked his followers to participate in a project called the Babylon Working. He thought that through all of these sex magic rituals, the Scarlet Woman would come along to give birth to the moon child. They believed that this child could be raised to aspire to travel to space instead of holding on to the comforts of Earth. They never actually gave birth to a real baby because they hoped that this would be more of a symbolic gesture for future generations of mankind. The Scarlet Woman was a symbol of free love throughout the world, so people could have sex outside of marriage more openly. In a way, you could actually say that this spell actually worked. Just a few years later, the United States entered the space race, and the entire world turned on their televisions to watch the first steps onto the moon. In the 1960s, it had then spread the free love movement that Parsons had hoped for. Maybe, just maybe, all of that sex magic actually ended up working.
And I'll read that. That is Jack Parsons. Okay. Jack Parsons is, I'm not going to go too detailed into him, but he is the God, they call him the Rocket Man. He's who helped form NASA. Okay. What you have right here. NASA. All right. He is the originator of that. If you brothers want to do some more research on him, but Jack Parsons, it says John. I don't want to go too deep into his history, but he was a rocket scientist to help put together the early times of NASA and going into space. He wanted to go out into space for, since he, the spirit was on him to go into space because Yahweh Shem Yahshai had set him up to fulfill prophecy. He says, men's going of the Lord, okay? And why I say that? Because if we go right here, let's jump right into the blue letter. It's the book of Isaiah 47. When I seen this, all I could think about was the scripture. This is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So the birth, when you get down to the nitty-gritty of Esau and his technology and different things, because this guy is worshipped just right along with Aleister Crowley. Okay, he became friends with Aleister Crowley. All right, him, L. Ron Hubbard, which is the originator of Scientology. All right, and then he went into meeting with this guy. All right, and they became good friends, and they started practicing sexual magic with each other, and they wanted to go and conjure up Babylon, a woman Babylon, right here. Babylon. So it's not a coincidence that they went after this particular deity, the Great Mother, all right, the mother of harlots, because Esau has no choice but to fulfill prophecy, man. So if you look into NASA really stemmed from sexual magic and sorcery, man. The same thing that was their downfall. Because it says, whence thou set thy nest in the stars, thence shall I bring thee down. So the most high, cold-blooded, man. That's, man, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai. Read it one more time. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of sorceries wherein thou hast labored. Sexual magic is where the whole NASA space, you know, because they were into that. All right, what you call one of the godfathers of that. It says, if so be thou, it says like here, if so be thou shall be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail. So, because the left hand side does have some kind of power, only thing is given is from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So if they were able to do that, let that be the thing to save you. But they won't be able to do it. And it says, thou art wearied in the multitudes of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right? So that's what you see, man. The birth of Esau's technology, especially with NASA, roots are in witchcraft, man. Pure witchcraft, sexual magic, man. All right, this is Nate, and you had that 70s movement, which was the bringing down of this place, because you had what that hippie movement out there, man. Because before that, Esau put a facade of righteousness on them. You know, the picket fence, you know, the leave it to beaver type days. All right, this is the book of Nahum 3 and verse 4. And it says, because of the multitudes of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, Babylon the Great. So it's not a coincidence that they wanted to bring forth this deity, this great mother, which is Babylon, which goes back to the Babylonians, which is the Hamites, all right? So you're seeing that they wanted that spirit to sit on Babylon, and that spirit came on Babylon. It was already Babylon to begin with in the scriptures. But why did they conjure this one up? Why did they want to conjure this certain deity? And you see the owls there. So Babylon, and those are owls next to it, because that goes into Molech. All right. Semiramis, Tammuz, it's all the same. It's all the same recycled God, man. All right. And it says, let's read back in Nahum, and it says, because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts. And what did they use to help formulate NASA? Witchcrafts, man. That selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. All right. And it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts. And who's he using? He's using the apostles and the elders and the men of great millstone and the men that's pushing this truth with all sincerity, honesty, and faith, man. All right. Just like the Lord said, thou art my battle axe, he's using us as a weapon also to come at this man. And because he's using, we're likened unto a worm, man. That's why I said the Lord has chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. All right, and this is a part of it, man. All right, to know and they shove him to the side. Esau's he don't want everybody to know about this guy. All right, because they know they owe a lot to him. All right, but even before the so-called German scientists and all that, man, you know, I researched it all morning. This is Isaiah 47 and 10. It says, but these two things shall come upon thee in a moment. And one day, loss of children, widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right, so Yahweh Shem Yahushua is working on Esau, man. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. All right. Therefore shall evils come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So with that, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash. Lord willing, this is edifying. Hey, we close, man. Esau's being found out at every turn, man. Shalom, shalom.